Yeah, Jen, we could do paradigm shift.
Paradigm shift. So much buzz around these phrases. New paradigm, paradigm shift. And what the bleep does that mean? I know is something that I often am like, get off your high horse about this new paradigm garbage. But I do think
but when we say
there's some relevance to it. What does it mean to me? What's my understanding of new paradigm? It's that we're stepping out of an archaic way of thinking. Astrology 101 will tell you that we are in a 2,000-year shift right now, coming into the age of the Aquarius. These are new ways of communicating. These are new ways of thriving. These are more connected, creative, compassionate places. We came from, the Roman era of really barbaric, my kingdom's gonna take over yours. There's a win-lose association with that. I'm stronger, you're weaker.
I think that's actually still happening right now.
It is, but it's old paradigm. And I think when someone wants an example, you can think about our global dialogue right now, and it's a very old paradigm way of treating people, and that's why the entire globe is in protest, and that's thanks to this new communication, new technology. The internet has opened up dimensions in a whole new form. It's just one example of new paradigm
shifting. The consciousness.
With that, consciousness is also elevating and expanding.
And what's that mean?
Well, that's really a cue to these plant medicine, these entheogen modalities that can expand consciousness. I think that's why they're getting such a forefront. He's like digging a hole.
And I think it's happening now with plant medicine because I felt a shift prior to 2020 where, people were still willing to sit down. Things were slower, if you can say that and pinpoint it. Things were slower, and people were willing to sit down and dedicate themselves to mastering meditation and breath work and
hours
navigating
of yoga with a guru.
Yeah, navigating consciousness on a very physically, I'm going to say exhausting, because you had to be present, grounded, and doing the work. And as 2020 shifted, in how I read energy patterns, we elevated into what I consider the emotional plane, which is the plane of the plants. And this is the consciousness of the plants. And what that means is when we tap into this, we're all, it's the clear sentient, which is clear feeling. It's the empathic era. It's this era of interconnectedness. And the plants are what here supporting this. I mean, I could go on for hours.
The plant intelligence is showing up and manifesting in the form of these psychedelic or consciousness expanding forms as one way.
Quick.
Right?
It's quick.
And this is an accelerated spiritual catalyst for those ready to receive.
Well, when we talk this new paradigm, we are actually connected to what we would call a new energy grid system. And in that system, everything is so much more sensitive. And so when you're that sensitive, you can pick up on all of these things, and it's quick and it's effortless. And when you work with plant medicine, as somebody who reads energy again, it works with your blueprint. It works with that grid system that you're tapped into, and instantly shifts and illuminates and just charges that. So that, to me, that's why plant medicine is so important now, because it's giving us this instant, immediate wisdom and access to how to work in this new paradigm. And the new paradigm being, we're not living in the war, control, ego anymore. We've stepped into this elevated consciousness, this emotional plane where we're sensitive. We realize I am you, you are me, everything's connected. So what I do to you happens to me. So if I'm warring, fighting, hurting, I'm doing all that to myself. So as we elevate out of that old into the new, we've got to know how to work in this energy when we feel everything. And the plants are our master teachers in that field.
So beautiful, so inspiring. I love the elevation into this new paradigm, because it just feels so much more homey and empowering and love, compassion filled. Again, if you're wondering, is something old paradigm or new paradigm, to me it's very simple. Is it a win-lose situation or a win-win situation where all beings are benefiting? Boil it down. And if it's a win for something else and a lose for you, that's your biggest barometer. That's an old paradigm way of being.
That's amazing, Jen. I've not heard that before. Say it again.
Yeah, just examining, is it a win-lose situation or is it a win-win situation? A win-lose is old paradigm. Nothing should be hurting, harming, negatively impacting anything else. we can all live in a thriving, symbiotic way. And anything that says otherwise is embodying that old paradigm, that denser frequency where I conquer and you're defeated type approach.
Yeah. And there's variances to what a win-win, win-lose is, and everybody's perspective is different. And so that's why you look to a teacher like plant medicine, where you can instantly go in, tap into everything, and then the wisdom of divine guidance, God, whatever you want to call this, will start to show you what all those variances and what all of that means for you, because we're all unique in how we live in this interconnected reality.
Sure, buddy.
No, get your booty. Oh! Talk about animal consciousness.
He wants it. This dog really does draw to DMT. I'm telling you. Anywho.